Fox Soul challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams, ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
Trial of Kaysen Allison, who's charged in the fatal stabbing of Joe Ramirez at Belton High School in 2022.
3 new witnesses took the stand: a bystander in the bathroom during the fight, another good friend of Ramirez, and Ramirez's brother.
News 10's Madison Herber has more on what was brought up in court today.
Before the jury was even brought in, Judge Wade Faulkner warned those connected to Ramirez not to engage with social media news outlets about the case. That came after someone connected to the victim commented on our Facebook post about the trial. Once the jury was seated, cross-examination continued on the witness brought in late yesterday. Joshua Grimes told the court he and Ramirez were good friends. He was also in the bathroom the day of the fight. Grimes responded to a number of questions asked by the defense with, "I don't know, sir," or "It's been 3 years." The defense asked Grimes why he didn't give his phone to police that day. Grimes responded with, "The police didn't ask." Both sides refreshed the court and witnesses' memory by replaying the hallway security footage and the video of the fight. In the hallway video, you see Ramirez and 3 others enter the bathroom. Seconds later, you see Ramirez and Grimes in the doorway arguing with Raina Barber, who testified yesterday. Barber argues with them for about a minute before storming off. Then right after, another student walks in, and then about 20 seconds after that, you see Allison and his friend calmly enter the bathroom. The fight happens in a matter of minutes, and then you see Ramirez and some of his friends run out. The other student, who was just a witness, leaves, and then you see Allison run out and another student following him. Grimes said that he doesn't remember Allison wanting to fight. Grimes also said that he didn't know Ramirez to be a fighter, which is different from what was said yesterday by friends of Ramirez and Allison. The final person to take the stand today is brother to the victim, Josh Rios. They are related by marriage and have been related since they were 2. He explained to the court that prom was the Saturday before the May 3rd fatal fight. Rios provided a different perspective of the conflict.
In this round, here's Quan LX.
Charles, this is a case involving murder that took place in Belton County, Texas at Belton High School in 2022. The suspect, Mr. Casey Allison, and the victim, Joe Ramirez, 2 high school students who got into an altercation in the bathroom, and the suspect, Mr. Allison, who is white, stabs and kills Mr. Ramirez in this fight. We've heard nothing across America about this case. There have been no high-profile coverage across the country about this case. We've had no Pride Brothers or Proud Brothers or white organizations marching in Belton County demanding that Mr. Allison be prosecuted and spend life in prison. We've had no white folks all over TikTok speaking about how Mr. Allison should be sent to prison and justice be served swiftly. But why? Because in this case, the suspect killing the victim is a white suspect killing a brown young man, Mr. Ramirez. But in Carmelo Anthony's case, everybody around America, especially in white and black circles, got something to say about this, and the media has been giving continuous coverage to the Carmelo Anthony case. But what about this case in Belton County? Very similar circumstances. On school property, like Frisco, Texas, involving 2 students like Frisco, Texas. One produces a knife, stabs his aggressor, and the suspect charged with murder is claiming self-defense, the same way in Frisco, Texas. But where's all of these voices condemning Mr. Allison as a scumbag murderer like you did against Carmelo Anthony? You don't hear none of that, because I believe the suspect is white in white Belton County who killed a young man of color.
Okay, so let me throw you a curveball, because what you're framing this is, oh, white America is, no, you're complaining that white America isn't rallying for Kaysen, I think it's Kaysen, not Casey, Allison. The problem is a lot of the people that were upset about the Carmelo Anthony situation was that people were, mostly people of color, were donating hundreds of thousands of dollars, making all kind of crazy posts. I saw one today that it claimed that the cause of death for Austin Metcalf was using Molly, right? Not a knife to the heart. And there were all these people on social media justifying the murder. And I think they were justifying it because it was a white kid killed by a black guy. And racism, although we pretend it's only a stream that runs both ways, it's not. It's a circle that people keep turning the wheel of racism. I'll say it real quick. Case and Allison, absolute scumbag murder. Right? He is a horrible human being. I hope that he gets convicted, and I don't care at all the fact that he's white and his victim was a person of color. In fact, I believe that if Carmelo Anthony was the victim and Austin Metcalf was the stabber, we would have never heard you say anything other than we need to go put Austin Metcalf in prison for life, right? I think your perception is completely determined by race, whereas mine has nothing to do with it. Let's talk about this Case and Allison case a bit. Okay, it was a fight. I think everyone agrees. I think there's a video floating around that we couldn't find that talked about in court that Joe Ramirez did throw the first punch, and then Kaysen responded by throwing a punch with a knife in his hand, killing this child in the bathroom of this high school. It's disgusting. But this was a long simmering dispute, and in that long simmering dispute, we have text message where Kaysen had previously asked a friend, bro, bring me a gun, where Kaysen had expressed a desire to put Joe Ramirez in the hospital, right? In fact, he said, wanted Joe on life support, wanted to stomp his head in, wanted his jaw dangling from his face, and wanted him in the hospital. It is absolutely no doubt that Kaysen Allison was looking for a fight.
Now
and
you're
armed
wrong.
himself.
Now let me correct you.
Okay, correct me. Yeah,
according to his defense team,
are you on? Well, that doesn't
one
mean
second,
I'm wrong. That's
according to his defense team, those threats were going both ways.
Oh yeah, sure.
And right now, the prosecution is putting on their side of the case, and they're showing Mr. Kaysen as having these threatening text messages. But allegedly, these threats were going both ways. In fact, the attorneys are alleging that Mr. Allison never wanted to fight, that he was forced into agreeing to this fight.
Of course they are.
After he had been threatened multiple times, if he didn't fight, what would happen? Also, allegedly, his lawyer is saying they agreed to fight off campus away from school, but when they went into the bathroom, his lawyers are claiming that Mr. Allison was jumped by more than just Ramirez. One of his friends jumped in, and when they jumped in, he threw a punch. He got afraid that they were going to jump him. He pulled the knife and stabbed him. That's what the defense is saying in this case. So I'm asking you, if it is true, Mr. Allison's version of events, that he did not want to fight, he was forced into the fight. He goes into the bathroom, and he sees they getting ready to jump him in the bathroom. They swing on him first. He pulls knife to defend himself. Is he a scumbag murderer?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. In fact, but there's other evidence, right? And I'm not. Are we shocked that the defense team is saying that? Oh no, it was the other guy.
These are all text.
But there's
no. The defense says this. The defense also says this, that they're going to produce a video, allegedly.
Okay, I don't care.
A video where they went to this boy's house.
You don't take
and tried to get him to come outside to fight.
To a fist fight.
Okay.
You call the police. And in fact, Allison is recorded saying, "We finna catch them tomorrow. I'm going to send him to the hospital." This was somebody instigating a crime. I believe Anthony went to the tent to instigate a conflict, but we got to wait on the evidence of that.
So where's the protesters demanding that he be put in prison? Okay. Where are these white protesters, all these white commentators demanding that Mr. Kaysen, Mr. Allison, go to prison?
In your world, what should be happening is white people should be paying for his bond and paying for his defense.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Buying him a new
what
family.
I'm saying is
but
the selective vitriol.
Maybe
the
there are more
selective
non-racist
by
people
white people
that say, hey,
is repugnant to me.
What do you mean selective vitriol?
Because where's the vitriol for this man?
There's all kinds of
the same
look,
white folk ain't mad about
white,
this.
Black, brown, plaid, green, alien, I don't care.
Where's the media coverage?
Anyone.
Where's the national media coverage?
Right here.
No, come on, man.
Right here.
We don't want talking about this.
Okay, well, that's good.
Where's national media coverage?
That's why everyone should watch the show.
If this was Carmelo Anthony's case, it'd be blown through the world to see. But now, because a white boy did the same exact thing that Carmelo Anthony is alleging, self-defense, you can hear crickets.
What blew Carmelo Anthony's case all around the world was social media. And it was the idiots on social media that were making up stuff and justifying this
But you have the same idiots in Belton County making these same comments in this case.
First of all, Belton County, much smaller town. It's not, Frisco is part of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, which if you include them as one, would be the third biggest city in the country. And we have this thing where it was a horrible, there's just no justification for what Anthony did to Metcalf. Here we have what looks like, in your description, was a long-standing bitter dispute between two kids that one kid unnecessarily escalated. But any kid that brings a knife to a fist fight is a scumbag. Any kid that murders someone at school.
But where's all these angry white voices in this case? The angry white voices are everywhere in Carmelo Anthony case.
Your assumption,
but there are no angry white voices in this one.
Him
you
for
murder. You can hear crickets. They prosecuting Carmelo Anthony for murder.
But he
and
both
hold on.
of them.
Now wait a minute. You talk about the money that was raised.
Okay.
Where it came out that none of that money was used to post his bond.
It's still a bunch of...
1 second.
Yeah, because some celebrity rapper walked in and paid it.
Not a penny was given from that money for his defense team.
Okay, a celebrity rapper came in and dropped down a bunch of money.
White conservatives lied and said the family used the money to buy a $1 million house.
In fact...
They lied and said,
I didn't
buy
say that.
$1 million house. They lied and say the family used that money to buy a brand new Cadillac.
I didn't say
and
that.
all that was a damn lie.
Okay.
Not a single penny had been given to the Anthony family.
And there were people
from that
saying that Metcalf and Hunter both jumped him. That was a lie. That Metcalf and Hunter are racist. That was a lie. That Metcalf was on drugs. That was a lie. Horrible lies have been told. And yes, I agree. The dishonesty is disgusting. But it doesn't change the fact, I think what you were hoping for was that we would sit down here and I would see that Kaysen Allison, who has the whitest name I've ever heard, Kaysen, right? That Kaysen Allison, I would be justifying his stabbing murder of a classmate.
No,
but I'm not.
What I want to hear from you,
disgusting.
What I want to hear from
and
you
it's not
is
self-defense.
Why is it?
Just like it wasn't self-defense
all these
in
millions
Frisco.
of white folks
I don't speak for white
who
people.
are angry with Carmelo Anthony, and they going publicly with this anger. They ain't got nothing but cricket. They so quiet. My grandmother used to say you could hear rat piss on cotton.
Well,
that's how quiet these white folks are in this case where the young perpetrator is a white student killing a brown kid.
I can ask you where all the millions of angry black people justifying what Carmelo did, why aren't they sticking up for Kaysen Allison? That's the same question. Because
let me be honest with you.
And no, hold on. I'll let you talk. Let me talk. Right? Here's the thing. I don't think anyone is rallying around this guy because of his skin color. I think a lot of people are rallying behind Anthony because of his skin color.
You don't think them white folks that went to Frisco, Texas, and held a march called White Lives Matter?
No, I'm talking about Kaysen. No, that was disgusting. That was disgusting.
That's based on
skin color. It was not as disgusting as the press conference that Anthony had, but it was disgusting. And Metcalf's father said it was disgusting.
Did you see Chicken George at that rally? Did you see Django at that rally? Hell no, Django wasn't there. But Chicken George was there.
Okay.
Did you see Buckwheat?
I don't know who
Buckwheat was at the rally. You ain't see it?
I don't know who those people are.
You didn't see Steppin' and Fetch It?
I don't know who any of those people are.
You didn't see bootlicking behind, kissing, pick your cotton
You're
brother.
talking about African Americans that went to show support.
No, I'm talking about the one Negro that was at the Frisco rally. All them white folks talking about the white man died and this is shameful. And black people, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Where y'all find that Negro?
I think
that Negro
right there. You said,
was the most pathetic
as
expression of a black man I've ever seen. Buckwheat, Chicken George, Steppin' and Fetch It. Where they find that Negro from? It looked like they pulled him out of a closet somewhere where he been keeping him and brought him out in the public and he's now saying, white lives matter.
Well,
where y'all find this white man from?
I mean, I think
he was black.
I think
but he was damn sure white-minded.
I think black lives matter. I think lives matter generally, but that's just
me.
They
find the most craziest Negroes to speak for them, don't they?
Look, obviously, there are people that want to have rallies and get attention here, but the truth is that you don't have this groundswell of support for Kaysen Allison because people are looking at that case.
I'm going to call it right now.
I'm
going to call it right now. He's going to be found not guilty.
I don't think he will. Right. In fact,
you think he'll be found guilty?
I don't think he should.
You think he'll be found guilty?
If the judge is doing a job, right? His job.
What I ask you.
No, I think he'll be found guilty.
I say not guilty in this case.
Okay.
You know why?
Racism. Okay.
Because you and I both know down in Belton County.
Belton County, pretty Belton County. Mm-hmm. But I think that
everybody down there waving "Make America Great Again" flag.
And I'll explain.
I don't think that poor little Hispanic family ain't gonna have a chance down there with that jury.
Okay. Belton is pretty diverse when you look at there is a lot of Hispanic people that live there. But let's talk about the law. In section 932 of the Texas Penal Code lists when you can use deadly force. And someone punching you is not something that you can use deadly force in the state of Texas, right? I don't think the judge should even give
even
an
if
instruction.
You're being jumped?
I don't think the judge, yes, you have to be in legitimate fear of your life.
Even if you got more than one person, quote unquote, maybe attacking you?
Stomping on your head or something, but we don't have any facts like that, just like we don't in the Anthony matter. I don't think he should be entitled to the instruction on self-defense. In fact, I think that would be error for the judge to let the jury consider it.
I say you're going to let it happen.
I think this scumbag needs to.
He's going to let it happen.
I think this scumbag, who happens to be white, should spend the rest of his life in prison, just like I think Anthony should. And I think it's hypocrisy for you to say the converse.
If that's the defense's position, that it was self-defense. If the young man, when he was questioned by law enforcement,
he said the same thing Anthony did.
Same exact,
I was protecting
it was
myself.
Self-defense. You and I both know the jury is going to be allowed to hear that.
Okay.
And the jury will be allowed to consider that.
How about you? You know, you think Anthony was absolutely entitled to self-defense stabbing of an unarmed kid in the chest and killing. We've heard that from you on this show. Do you think Allison was justified in killing Ramirez?
Now, I'm going to be very honest with you.
That'd be a nice change of pace.
I'm going to be dead honest with you, man, because I'm consistent. If the young white kid, Mr. Allison, absolutely did not want to fight and he was afraid to fight, like he's saying, one. If they tried to jump him in that bathroom and he was afraid for his safety and his life when he tried to jump him, and he pulled that.
But he's not saying he's afraid for his life.
That's what he's alleging. Yes, he is. So if he's saying that he stabbed them because they were trying to jump him and he didn't want to fight, I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's murder. It may be manslaughter. I don't see murder, though.
Okay. Well, I couldn't disagree more. So do you think Anthony committed manslaughter?
I believe that Carmelo Anthony really defended himself, in
From
all
what?
honesty.
From being shoved?
I'll be honest with you. When you look at Carmelo Anthony, 135 pounds, you look at the young man who was terroristically threatening him, who physically put his hands on him.
You're making that up.
No, that's not true. Who physically put his hands on him, and he's 220 pounds. I believe that Carmelo Anthony was afraid for his life, and he used that weapon in self-defense. I don't think Carmelo tried to kill him. I think Carmelo used that weapon to get him off of him and to get away from him, but I don't think he tried to kill him. I think the death was the end result, but I don't think that Carmelo went to the track meet looking for trouble. I don't think he brought a weapon looking for trouble, and when it really comes out about the weapon part, a lot of people are going to be shocked by that.
Okay, so
because it's not a knife. Let me say this. It's not a knife like they're saying.
Okay.
And that young man didn't go get no butcher knife or go to the store and buy no knife and put that in that bag or that track meet. You're going to be shocked at the fact that it comes out what kind of weapon it really was.
But you don't think, right? That's just your opinion. But if we talk about the facts, right?
I don't think it was murder in either case.
Okay. You don't think shoving a knife into the middle of someone's chest is murder?
If what these young men are alleging is true, that they were threatened and forced into a conflict situation.
Anthony has not alleged that he was threatened.
Yes, he was.
No.
No, he does
no
allege.
One said, I'm going to kill you, Anthony. No one said,
excuse me, you don't have to tell somebody I'm going to kill you to threaten them.
To make them think you're
threatening them. You're a former cop.
What did Anthony say?
You're a former cop.
What did Metcalf say?
And a former lawyer.
What did Metcalf say?
You and I both know you ain't got to say I'm going to kill you for it to be considered a terroristic threat.
I think Anthony could have shoved him back, but what is it that you think Metcalf said to justify his murder?
I really wish, in all honesty.
Because we know what Kaysen said.
I wish that Carmelo had ran away. I really do.
Okay.
Because
so do I.
I'm sure even right now Carmelo wish he had ran away.
No, he should have.
But at the end of the day,
instead everyone's treating him like a hero, like a warrior for justice.
No, Carmelo had a right to sit there, man.
No, he didn't.
He was trying to get out the rain.
There
was no law.
You can't.
So it's pouring down raining.
There's no law that says you can't go in the other team's dugout.
It's pouring down raining. He can't go up in the damn tent. Okay. It's pouring down raining.
But again, what is it that Metcalf said? You said he terroristically threatened him. Well, what did he say? How did he threaten him?
That's going to come out.
What did he say?
If you don't move, I'm a such and such.
Oh, let's see. He said, if you
I don't want to get too deep into it,
it.
but if you don't move, such and such is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And Charles.
No, none of the witnesses
said
that.
But where's the massive white outrage for this case on the Belton, Texas?
Because I think that there are people that are viewing it in a race-neutral way.
White don't care what that young white boy did.
No, white people
they don't
are prosecuting.
But a black man killing a white person in this country?
No, it's disgusting.
There's always been white rage for that one.
No, it's disgusting to justify a school murder just because the murderer is
gonna
black.
let that dude
That's
off.
what you did.
Belton County jury gonna let him off.
Watch. This kid
Remember, I
is going to
told
go to
you,
prison, and Anthony should follow him in prison.
Well, we're gonna see.
And that's what we should have in America. We should have consequences to people bringing violent, deadly weapons to school and killing people.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I think we should be uniform in our position on anything, on everything, and that race shouldn't determine how we frame or view an issue. I think that is at the heart of racism. I think when this kid, Kaysen Allison, who's no longer a kid, this young man, decided to pull out a knife and kill a guy he had beef with in his high school, he committed murder. Much like I think Carmelo Anthony, when he pulled out a knife and stabbed Austin Metcalf in the heart and killed him, that was murder. In the state of Texas, you cannot respond to mere physical force, whether it be a touching or a push, which is what Anthony alleged happened, or a punch, which is what everyone is alleging Joe Ramirez did to Kaysen Little. You cannot respond to that with a deadly weapon using deadly force to kill someone. It's not allowed by the law in Texas. It should not be considered by either court. Neither judge should allow for an instruction on it. And what we should be telling kids is don't kill people, period.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin to have sincere conversations, serious, with our young people. Social media is being used as extreme peer pressure to get a lot of our young people into physical conflicts and physical violence. Teach our young people that it's not weak. It doesn't make you a coward to walk away from conflict and go to an adult and ask for assistance and help in resolving the conflict. Peer pressure is causing many of our young people to get involved in violent acts that ends up with somebody going to the graveyard, somebody going to prison, or somebody being put in a hospital with irreparable damage. It's wrong what is happening in America with social media and the peer pressure of our young people. Let us come together and do something about this, because this is going to continue to happen over and over again. People making threats on social media and being on social media where they're going to fight, where the fight's going to take place. And you got all these cowards pumping them up. And when they get in trouble, the cowards ain't got nothing to say in your defense or send you 1 penny in commissary.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
That's it for the Face-Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.
Hey, besties.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
It's time for today's Face-Off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face-Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
See, CM Punk does good to my reputation Shannon Sharpe does to ESPN.
Oh, no, jeez. Oh, boy. All right, see, all right, we don't need that. A lot going on.
Don't ooh me. I'm not the one getting sued.
Whoa, okay, all right. Whoa.
In this round, here's Quan LX.
That was a real scandalous move by Paul Heyman, a legendary manager of many different WWE talents over the years. He's managed The Undertaker at one point. He's managed Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, many different talents of WWE. But I am shocked and offended by the words that came out of his mouth comparing the toxic relationship between him and CM Punk in regards to his affiliation with CM Punk, comparing that to Shannon Sharpe's new revealed lawsuit that has come out for sexual assault allegations. That was very distasteful, and it's obvious that that man, Mr. Heyman, has not read some of the facts pertaining to this alleged assault. Charles, I've read some of this story about Shannon Sharpe being accused of this sexual assault. Just on what I've read so far, this is not passing the smell test to me. I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty, but what I am saying, just the facts that's in court is very strange to me. She says that they dated for a year, and he raped her multiple times over that period. Charles, if a man rapes you as a female, why in the hell are you going back to have sex with him again? Then he rapes you again, and you go to have sex with him again. He rapes you again, and you go back again, and you never file a report. Then she puts in her affidavit that it was only until the video was released accidentally of him having sex live on Instagram with another female that motivated her to go forward with this lawsuit. Now let's talk about the lawyer involved, Mr. Tony Busby. He's the same lawyer that tried to shake down Jay-Z and P. Diddy together in a frivolous fake lawsuit where Jay-Z filed a countersuit against Mr. Busby, and now Mr. Busby had to go and drop that lawsuit because it was found that the young girl was lying. So even the lawyer in this case has been known to file frivolous lawsuits of sexual assault. In Jay-Z's case, now he's the one involved in Shannon Sharpe's case. Some of this doesn't pass the smell test for me, man. Now, if he did it, he should be prosecuted. If he did it, he has to pay. But all of this ain't passing the smell test for me, man.
But, you know, we started with a clip with Heyman on McAfee's show. I'm always amused when, and, you know, I was seduced by the pageantry of professional wrestling as a kid like everyone else. I was more a fan of the Texas wrestlers, the Von Erich family, and other stuff. But, you know, hey, I look at wrestling as just being a soap opera for men, right? It's make-believe with a lot of physically gifted, talented, often artificially enhanced athletes. But when we start pretending like it's real sports, it always shocks me because there's not any real competition. It's not real sports. It's about sensationalism. And Heyman is a master at sensationalism, right? And he was trying to bring attention to himself and his dispute with CM Punk. And he did a masterful job by talking about a topic of public interest that has just blown up recently. And in this lawsuit by Tony Buzbee, a noteworthy Houston area lawyer, who has made it a cottage industry of suing celebrities and successful athletes for allegations of sexual assault. Now, I would hope that Tony has appropriately vetted his plaintiff. I would hope that he has a mountain of evidence, because people don't imagine the evidence that is now created by these little devices we carry everywhere and are constantly texting and writing on, and they're all subject to discovery and subpoena. But hopefully if he's going to say these ugly things about this Hall of Fame athlete, who, just from his public persona, seems like an incredibly nice guy.
Exactly.
I've met him once in Beverly Hills. Seemed nice enough. Seemed to love him some him, but he's a very successful.
What's wrong with that?
Right, exactly.
I love me some me.
He's a very but it seems like it is he's a very successful athlete. Obviously, we talk clips of Club Shay Shay a lot because there's some enjoyable, important conversations going on there. I hope that this is not true about Sharpe, but I don't think we can just assume it's not true based on the fact that a woman didn't go to the police or based on the fact that she stayed in a relationship where she's being abused. Because it is very common for women
and you only go to the police after you find out he went live on a sex video with another female.
I do think that's a good argument.
Oh no!
When women make claims after being broken up with or becoming embittered about something, and it most certainly brings into question the validity of the claims. But I don't think we can question the validity of the claims completely based solely on the fact
saying that
she didn't make an early outcry and that she stayed around to be abused more.
And that's
because there are a lot of women that think they deserve it.
She don't go to the police, but she won $50 million.
Okay.
Now all of this rape took place over this year period of time, but you don't go to the police, but you go to civil court for $50 million.
I think it is absolutely a very defensible case, and I think for Buzbee to be successful in it, he'd have to have a mountain of evidence.
The same lawyer that's been exposed for filing fake lawsuits with these same similar allegations.
He hasn't been exposed for it.
Why he didn't? Jay-Z filed a counter-suit and said it was a lie, said it was a shakedown, said it was extortion, and Tony Buzbee was the lead ringleader of it.
Okay, here's the thing. If you as a lawyer, you have someone come to you and say, hey, this happened, and they say it earnestly and they present evidence that it did, and you look into it and you personally
there's a bar complaint been filed.
That is not a fake.
There's a bar complaint.
But that
Jay-Z's lawyers have filed a bar complaint against this man.
Are we shocked that a bar complaint was filed against a lawyer
in
who
this
sued
case,
somebody?
But in that case, he may be in trouble. In that case, he very well could be in trouble.
I would doubt it. First of all, I think that Jay-Z probably does have some very uncomfortable ties to Sean Combs, and I think Sean Combs is going to be proven to have engaged in decades of horrifying conduct, of horrifyingly criminal conduct, and I think Combs will spend decades in prison.
I would say to Brother Shannon Sharpe, brother, I pray that you're not guilty of this.
All right, so do I.
But if you're an innocent brother, don't you settle nothing. Remember, Bill Cosby settled and later went to prison for it. Remember that settling don't help you. You need to prove that these allegations are wrong, because settling in the eyes of the public make you guilty now.
Bill Cosby paid a bunch of money in an effort
and 35 years later went to prison for it.
In an effort to illegally silence women
and
from their ability
35 years later went to prison for it.
Right,
and some of them same women kept taking money from him over the years.
It wasn't 35 from that
Oh,
rape.
no, that's not true. Them allegations went way back to 40 years.
Yeah, there were, but no, the rape that led him to prison was an early 2000s
And that's the same woman that kept taking money from him and went and got money from him to pay for her daughter's education.
But he was drugging women and raping them. He should have a consequence.
So somebody drugging and raping you going to take money from for the next 30 years?
Bill Cosby, I loved Bill Cosby. America loved Bill Cosby. Cosby made a decision to drug and rape women, and we're going to
Shannon, don't you settle nothing, brother. You fight this till hell freezes over.
Cosby paid.
And then fight him on the ice.
Hopefully Shannon's telling the truth, but we can't assume that. We have to look at the evidence.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and the Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And neighborhoods come up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Kanye West, in the meantime, has posted a new song. And this song is called Cousin. And I want to say, when he posted this, he wrote alongside that he was sexually abused by his cousin until he was 14 years old.
Whoa.
He said his cousin is locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. He said, perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw.
What?
And here is the part of the song where he really addresses that.
Hanging with my cousin, reading dirty magazines. We seen two tickets, just like we ain't know what them should mean. Then we start reenacting everything that we had seen. That's when I gave my cousin. And I know these niggas about to judge me now. I hope my cousin not to tell nobody. Tell me take it to my grave. Truth will set you free someday. I don't think they understand that I'm not.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
Yeah, this just occurred this week. That was Angela Yee, formerly of the Breakfast Club, a radio personality, very sweet woman, talking about a very difficult subject with Kanye West, however you want to call him. And he's released this song. You know, he's been in the news, which we haven't talked much about because, you know, at what point do you stop giving him attention for selling swastika T-shirts and praising Hitler and clearly having what strikes me as some sort of deeply rooted psychological issue that he likes to frame as just him being enlightened. And a lot of it is anti-Semitic, and he has espoused a tremendous amount of hatred for Jews. But here he's singing, rapping, somewhere in between about a sexual encounter with a cousin who is apparently in jail for life for murder. He talks about, if this is true and not just make-believe, exposing the cousin to nude magazines at 6 and then performing oral sex on the cousin until he was about 14. What he doesn't say is who's the older cousin and who's the younger cousin. Because there are two possibilities. One, if Kanye was significantly older and he was the one that exposed him at a young age to sexual material and then engaged in sex acts with him, then it would be Kanye who was the molester. Conversely, if they were the same age, or if the cousin was older and then coerced it, it would be Kanye who was being molested. I don't think we have enough information, but it's all horrible, right? And it speaks to the character that we know, this character full of swagger and confidence, who is also a brilliant a genius musician. I think his first 2 albums are the 2 best rap albums ever made. Who's had a lifetime of troubles. Obviously, his mother died during a plastic surgery in, I think, 2012, and it kind of went off the rails there. But man, this is horrible stuff, Quanell.
Charles, the whole situation involving brother Kanye West, as I've said to you before, I believe that once his mother passed untimely, that mentally, spiritually, psychologically, it really took its toll on this young, gifted young man. But what he's talking about in that song, Charles, is such a hidden secret in America of child sexual abuse that happens inside of families, whether it be a relative or a close family friend. And listening to that song is traumatic because obviously this young man has been involved in child sex trauma. And it just speaks volumes to what I've been saying for a while, that the brother is mentally, spiritually, psychologically struggling with some things internally that only God and proper therapy and care can fix. I too am a little curious who was the older cousin, but at the same time, I don't believe that he would be admitting to child sexual assault and sex abuse as a young man, a young adult. I believe he's obviously talking about him being the victim of it. The whole thing is scary. It's sad, but Charles, I'm gonna say this to you, man. There are many families in this country that cover up internal family incest and sexual abuse. There are many families, grandmamas, granddaddies, mamas, daddies, aunts, uncles, who protect the family member who was sexually assaulting another family member. It's an unspoken shame and trauma that many families don't want to deal with because of the shame associated with it. But I would hope and pray that we get more clarity about this. But there's nothing that can really happen to the cousin if he's the perpetrator. He's already in prison for life for murdering a woman, I believe, a pregnant woman at that. This is just sad. It's traumatic. And I really would just pray that God would touch Brother Kanye and internally and grab him and guide him and direct him to the therapeutic spiritual therapy that he needs. A lot of people are messed up, man, in this country, from all walks of life, from childhood sexual trauma, in particular men.
Right.
Men really can't talk about
Well,
it.
here's a curveball. So we don't know the ages of the two. We know that Kanye in the statement is saying that I introduced him at the age of 6 to these magazines, right? If Kanye was significantly older, like let's say he was 10 or something and the kid was 6. And
No, Kanye said he was 6.
I thought that
I think Kanye said in the song that he was 6, I believe,
I was
right?
under the impression that Kanye said that his cousin was 6 years old.
I hope not.
But either way, if you know, it's
sad, Charles. Because
it's really,
every parent's
no,
nightmare is
perhaps,
something like
here's
this.
What he said. He said, perhaps in my self-centered mess, it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6. And then we acted out what we saw. You know, it really is going to depend on the age, right? And who was coercing the other. But think about this. Let's say it was Kanye that was coercing the other to allow him to sexually assault him. And all the rage that young man had built up over the years, the impotency, the feelings of that he somehow defined his sexuality through abuse, and then he took that rage out on a woman.
But he said this abuse went on until he was 14 years of age.
Right, and the question is who was abusing who, and we don't know. But what we do know at this point, after a couple of years of Kanye making horrible comments that would get any white musician absolutely canceled, right? Racist, embracing of Hitler, embracing of hate symbology, embracing of hate groups. When this man had the most popular
you talking about Kid Rock?
Well, the most Kid Rock, you cannot compare anything Kid Rock has done.
He said some very racist things.
Kanye had the most popular shoe. He was probably the longevity of his rap career was unheralded.
Oh, you mean Ted Nugent?
Okay. I know we got to talk about white people, But Kanye,
calling black women nappy head hoes.
Kanye had this great life that it appears he has burnt to the ground, all because of he's got some screw loose, and let's hope it doesn't continue to get worse.
I would hope and pray that there's some type of really intervention that can take place and gather the real facts here. Because you're right, if it was the cousin who was the victim, this could have led to a very psychological downward spiral in his life to where he became so hateful and really would do things that people would not understand, like murdering a pregnant woman. But this is awful. All of this is bad.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin? Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
One of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Right.
But I wouldn't want to trade places with him. And they was like, why not? Why you wouldn't want to play with him? I say, because I don't like the way Savannah look at LeBron. I like the way them white women look at LeBron. Like when soon as he walk out there, they just be like, oh. They be out. But it's like I noticed when he go do the handshake with the main player on his team, which is that, it's like, you act like I'm bothering you. Like, I'm the greatest player in the world, one of them. Like top 5, top 10, I'm one of them. And I'm in the playoffs. And you act like the warden of the jail. Like you came here to police me. Like you ain't.
In this round, here's Quanell X.
That was a video of one of our country's great hip-hop artists, Brother Kevin Gates, speaking on the wife of, I believe, the greatest basketball player ever, LeBron James. And Kevin Gates was speaking about how he did not like how Savannah James, LeBron's wife, looks at her husband in public. And he referenced how white women look at LeBron James like they dicked out, as he said, when they see LeBron James. And I would say to Brother Kevin Gates that perhaps, Brother Kevin, that Miss Savannah looks at LeBron as her husband, and she looks at him with love. But the women that you're referencing, the white girls, and we've seen these videos before, white girls looking at LeBron in a very sexual way, they're looking at him in a lustful way. And most women don't look at their husband in a lustful way, Brother Kevin, in the public. But to those women who are giving her husband that look, that should not be a good, righteous man concern. I love LeBron's response, though. Brother LeBron says, kings don't concern themselves with the opinions of the peasants. Where to next, queen? Let's get it. Saying to his wife, let's ignore the commentary of our brother Kevin, because it really does not apply to our marriage, because we are above that, and the lustful looks of other women is beneath us. And I would want to encourage Brother Kevin, I understand what he's saying. I understand where he's coming, but I can't agree with it in proper context because it does not fit that marriage. But Brother Kevin, always, brother, if you can, try not to publicly cast your opinions about another man's marriage. That's really not what we would like to do, because marriage is sacred in Islam, Brother Kevin. And the Quran teaches us that Allah, God, hates divorce. And your words, brother, can speak to the atmosphere that creates divorce in households. And as a Muslim, Brother Kevin, we want to strengthen the family. So let our words publicly be to strengthen a Savannah James and a LeBron's relationship in their marriage. Let us not say anything that encourages the devil to get between
man,
the
you
marriage.
went on the whole segment there.
I'm sorry, man. I had lost track of time.
I mean, first of all,
I'm sorry,
I
brother.
don't think Kevin Gates is even in the top 100 best rappers. I think that I would like that at the end that he acknowledged that LeBron was probably in the top 10. The fact that you put LeBron ahead of Jordan, Kareem, and Kobe is just insane. But yes, the Kevin Gates commenting on LeBron James is how his wife looks at him. I don't know why we have to call out white girls as if they're the only ones that look at this super rich superstar as if he's an attractive man. But damn it, Kevin Gates, shut your fool mouth.
That's it for the Face Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin? Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late-night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I do.
This is
Somewhat haunting and foreshadowing in the form of advice from comedian Monique to media personality Shannon Sharpe. Tonight on The Factor, an update on the lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe, along with a special conversation on age gaps in relationships with older men. Plus, a new edition of Is This Our America series. A white man criticized for threatening a black child, allegedly saying he'd shoot the dumbass bitch for trying to sell candy at his door.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on The Factor Uncensored tonight. The mudslinging is heating up in